nsfw podcast last week. We talked about that story that everyone loves to hate, Twilight, the ultimate saga. Kaylee, what did we do last time?
Last time, which for us was
Like-
about an hour and a half ago.
No.
2 hours
it was
ago.
like 2.5 hours ago.
I have a poor
I went and got
time.
pizza, you guys.
I took a nap, so.
I didn't actually ask what you did. I went and got pizza. I've actually been eating pizza for a whole week straight. That's what it's been a whole week actually, and not just 2.5 hours.
So that was our whole week. Last week we talked about our favorite characters. We talked about if we were Team Edward or Team Jacob and how problematic and kind of terrible
Both
of them are. But how Edward is better for Bella.
Our beloved. And how everyone loves Alice.
Yeah. Also Jasper. And also Becca hates vampires.
Yeah, we'll probably revisit that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Because we have Becca and Emily
Once again.
back. Well, still here. They haven't left. Kristen was the one who left and then came back.
The pizza was good, though.
They
So
did-
was the company.
Our guests are continuing to talk about Twilight in this episode. Because last episode we left off on a very important remark from Becca. So let's revisit that, shall we, Becca?
If you must know what my important remark was that I said about 2.5 hours ago, sure, I can tell you what it was. I said that though I do declare to be Team Jacob, even though you all say Edward is better,
Well,
I have one thing to say against Jacob. Well, I have many things to say against Jacob. One very important fact that I must say against Jacob, though, is that... Actually, it's not is that. It's the supreme disgustingness of imprinting on an infant. Excuse me.
That's a big oof.
thank you for that hot take, Becca. I think that we can
Is it
all
a hot
agree.
take?
No,
It's a pretty
so
gross. It's a
take.
pretty room temperature take.
that everybody in the entire world should agree with.
Mm-hmm. Raise your podcast hand if it's nasty.
Yeah.
Everyone's raising their hands.
I agree.
It's an infant. An infant.
Yes.
But
okay.
just imprinting in general is not good. I don't like it.
Say
It's
more.
gross.
Say more, Emily.
Like, I just don't like it. I don't.
It's like
It's just
falling in love, but worse.
I can tell you why it's the worst, because it's falling in love, but it's mostly one-sided.
It's not
Okay, but
falling
it's not
in love.
falling in love, though. It's like a chemical thing. Like you like a
But I mean, like,
It's like
weird
an obsession.
obsession bond
Like the
thing that you
werewolf
can't break.
who-
Like when you fall in love, you can get out of that still. But like an imprint, they make it sound like no, it's a death trap.
Like
You can't
they're
get
the
out.
only thing tying you to this world.
That exactly.
that
But
sucks.
that other person might not even know
Yeah,
it.
that's
and
what I'm
it's
saying.
yeah.
It's like,
one-sided.
it sucks for the werewolf because they have no choice. But then they also, like, the person to which they have what? I don't even know what I'm saying. On whom they have imprinted.
With?
Like, they
didn't imprint on them. It's like a one-sided.
They may not reciprocate those feelings.
It's
but
not even a
also,
feeling. It's
then
a. It's
the
a.
person who has imprinted, like, might feel that they're obligated to have this person because they're like, well, I've imprinted on you, so
yeah,
like,
that's how it would play out. I think that's how they sort of
With
present
Sam and
it. Is
Emily.
they're like
it's like a possessive.
they
thing.
have a rightful claim on this person now, which is dumb.
Like, if
and
you don't like me back, then you're just being a jerk because I can't help it.
yeah,
Like,
we
no.
talked about Jacob being like manipulative and like possessive, but this whole imprinting thing is all of them.
Yeah, it might just be a wolf thing. Like,
Being-
to manipulate people, to be like,
Like,
oh,
they
hey.
made it up.
Maybe.
Ew, then that has some
No, okay,
serious-
I don't
But-
think they made up imprinting, but like, I think that maybe the imprinting part is what makes them so manipulative.
Oh,
No.
like as a behavior,
Yeah,
they already
yeah.
have it before
Like
they
it's-
even
Like,
imprint
when you
on
change,
someone.
you like. Because I feel like Jacob, before he changed, was a lot sweeter to Bella.
True.
Yep.
Because he was just like, perky little boy. He was like, oh, my
Okay,
friend.
I
He was
have
like,
to
"Reach
stand
out."
up for Jacob here only because
He's been through a lot.
only
of shit.
because I obviously am the what's the person called? The devil's advocate, something like that. Except in this case,
Jacob's the devil.
in this case, no. But like that's how the saying goes. Jacob, at this point in his life, has been through a whole huge bunch of that
That's
stuff.
what I said.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't
because
give him
he's
the right.
like 16 years old. He's doing this man puberty thing. He already's having all these identity issues.
I mean, regular
And
puberty.
And then what happens? He turns into a wolf and has to join this like cult that's under someone else's leadership. And it's not like he was given the choice to be the leader, but he's like, I'm 16, 17. I don't want to be a leader. That doesn't mean I want someone to be over me as a leader. Like, I just want to be a kid and do my own thing and have the girl I like and I'm having a crush on. But no, instead, every time I get serious feelings, I turn into a werewolf. Like, that's not, like, poor Jacob.
Puberty.
Okay,
man.
but he knew that this was coming. Like, this has been there.
No, he didn't know it was
But
coming.
he knew the stories about the wolves.
Yeah, but why
Yeah,
would
but
they
he
do
didn't
that?
believe
He
them.
thought they were false.
He thought they were, like, you know,
Yeah, he's
tribal,
like, those are
made
just
up.
stories.
Maybe, but I think deep down they all just like know.
No, he for sure did not have any idea. He was like, what?
But like his
They were
dad
right.
Like in
does,
the fourth
right?
one where that
Yeah.
one change and just like falls down the trail.
Yeah, he like trips and he's like,
Oh,
oops, I'm a
that
wolf
would be
now.
me as a wolf. I would just kind of just like
You like
flop.
trip on the ice and you turn into a wolf and you're like,
Whoa.
oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't expect this at all.
You
What
like
do I
try
do
to open,
now?
you know, like when the pickle jar like won't open.
What? You like throw it in the air?
You just like wolf out.
You know, when you're trying to open a jar and you just accidentally fling it up in the air and then you try to catch it, but you stumble and
you've
fall
turned
and
into a
turn into a
werewolf.
wolf. Oh my god.
Shoot, me too.
How relatable for me. I give that a retweet. Okay, but
Retweet. This is a podcast.
comment below if you'd retweet that. I don't
Okay,
even remember
but
what we were
I don't
talking
either.
about.
Imprinting.
Imprinting. Disgusting.
Everyone agrees it's gross.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's
no.
gross and it's sad.
It's really sad. I mean,
It's gross and, like, abusive. Let's talk about the one werewolf who imprinted on a 2-year-old. That's gross.
I mean, that's not any better than Jacob.
No, I mean, they're both.
It's just another
Those
example
two
of
examples
nasty.
are both the worst ones.
Yeah.
But all the rest of them are also.
Like, especially that is a normal 2-year-old child who will grow up at a normal rate.
Yeah. And he's like, but she's meant for me someday. That's disgusting.
That's gross. And then they're like, it's not like that
Okay.
right now. Like, I'm just gonna be this presence in
But,
her
like,
life.
you know that's what's
You're
going to
like,
happen in the future.
no,
so you're
you-
thinking about
But
that.
they're like fully. That's why I was saying it's like a possessive
Okay, yeah.
thing. Is
Yes.
that they're fully expecting at some point to have like an intimate relationship
they are
with
watching
the child.
them grow up
Mhm.
thinking, ooh, they're developing real nicely. Like, is that what's
Yeah,
going
like
through their
can't
mind?
wait until they're 16 and hot, and you're like, ugh.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
when Jacob saw Renesmee and was like in the future and like saw her and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm assuming what happens to all of them.
Wasn't
but
that Alice?
no,
No,
he like
she's-
walked
when he
in and the
imprinted,
baby
like,
was
the baby
like
all
this
flashed.
with
Oh, I didn't
what's her
remember
face,
that.
Rosalie, and he like walked in and fell to his knees after.
It was
saw
a
him
really
running
serious
through the woods
imprint going
with
on
her,
there.
and she was a redhead.
Oh, I didn't remember.
Jacob
that. I just
is
remember
so
Alice's
moody.
Things.
He's dumb.
He's
It's
like,
just
you'd know if I imprinted.
nasty. They can claim all they want that it's like, I'll just be like
A big
a friend or a big brother to them, like as they grow up, and you're like, no,
Yeah, then they're gonna
absolutely
age-
not,
like they'll be 18 and be like, hey,
because they've never presented it as like just a loving relationship between two people. Like, so it's only ever been like a heterosexual, sexual relationship.
Yeah,
Well,
like
they
Jacob
didn't-
says, it could, like, your soulmates, like, your whatever she needs, you could just be, like, best friends or, like, that big
Whatever
brother.
she needs,
But that's,
That's like the
that's
connotation
never
of
what's
soulmates.
happening. Like, that's
But
it's
if
always.
they've imprinted on someone, they're not going to want anybody else in any other
Yeah.
aspect. So even if this person was like, yeah, I just want to be friends, they'd be like, well, then what do I do? Because I don't want to be around anyone else. They're literally like a puppy. But like
Yes,
a
they
creepy
are.
puppy.
well, when you just changed, aren't you considered a puppy?
No, but I mean, like,
Change
they
the
just
puppy.
want to blindly
Hashtag
follow you
suck.
around, and they expect, like, constant attention
love
from you.
suck.
But not in a cute way, like a real puppy.
Like, the one who imprinted on the 2-year-old, he just, like, is always with her, like her babysitter. Like, I would not want my kid to be around someone who was like,
This
oh, I
grown
printed that
man.
in your 2-year-old.
Yeah, like, did they
Go
tell?
to prison. Yeah, she's Emily's niece.
So she lives on the reservation?
Ew, so Emily's
Yeah.
just like, excuse you?
Well, Emily's probably okay with it because she's been imprinted on.
Emily? Wait. I'm confused about which
Sam.
one that is.
Sam.
The one with the
Emily.
scars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he imprinted on Emily while he was
yes.
dating Leah. That's why Leah hates everything.
Okay,
Yes.
well, but they were like, that's like a whole nother deal. But they're adults, so for her, it's like a pretty good thing.
Yeah, but
How long has Sam been a werewolf?
like,
How old is
a
Sam?
year
Yeah,
older
Sam
than
looks-
Jacob.
He
old.
looks like a 35-year-old, though.
He hasn't. Well, they all like look older than they are, or something like that.
Well, they age
Because
slower.
they become werewolves. They like look like they age.
Hyper puberty.
I don't know. They talk about it in the books. I don't really remember anymore because I don't care about the werewolves.
Wow, Jacob, you look like you're 30 now. He's like, I'm 16.
Yeah, I went through a second wolf puberty.
And that's why I said hyper puberty.
Yeah, and he's 16
You
still
fall
like
down a hill and you turn into a wolf and then you change back into a human. It turns out like you're 35 and you got to do your taxes.
Oh no, my parents can't claim me as a dependent anymore.
I have to have my own insurance now. I don't know how to do that.
Occupation werewolf.
But that'd be so weird though if they didn't age. Because, like, obviously the Cullens move around and then people, like, die. But, like, werewolves, do they just, like, keep, like, living on the...
I
That's
don't
a
know.
side
Side note,
thing.
is this the only reservation that has werewolves in Forks, Alaska?
Forks, Alaska. Why do we not know what the states are? Like, why is the western coast like yesterday? I had the problem.
You guys
earlier.
should do a podcast on naming all 50 states.
I can do
We
it.
should do a podcast.
You should
Like
race.
that episode of
You should
Friends.
too. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. The episode of Friends where they have to name all 50 states.
But anyways,
I can name all the presidents in order.
Don't do
okay,
it right now.
no, are there like
I
other reservations that have werewolves, or is it just in Forks?
I don't know.
I feel like
Because they're always like my territory, but there's vampires all
Well,
over.
that's like their
That's their reservation.
origin legend.
Right.
also they're like animal like shifters.
They were
right?
always
They don't have to be
werewolves.
wolves.
Their original
Right.
story is that they were like soul walkers, so they could like be souls. And then this guy, his soul, he like possessed a wolf, and then they became one, and then he became a werewolf.
So like you could be a bird.
And then he produced other werewolves. So like,
So there might be a
So you mean all the werewolves are his offspring?
yeah,
So they're all related.
yeah. They're all like in his line. It was a while back, so they were like distantly related now, but it's all like his line, yeah.
And Jacob is the grandson of Ephraim Black, and he's the real chief of the whatever. I don't remember what.
But so like if they met and like let's say there was another werewolf pack in like Seattle, and they like came up to fight in the war, like would they just like roll up and be like, "Hey, we're here. You got more wolves."
I feel
We
like they'd
choose
know if it was
Seattle because of our mistake last round.
last round.
You didn't know if they were werewolves.
Because I guess I just don't know what those states are. I do.
What's the one place
I
that?
don't think there's other ones. Because the vampires don't even know about
No,
these
like
wolves.
they're surprised
True.
to see the werewolves. Well, some of them
Because they're
know
not
about it.
werewolves. Well, they know about werewolves, but these aren't werewolves.
Well, then what are the real werewolves?
I don't know, but they talk about some
They
of
must
the
be
Is there like
theory.
a Lupin?
Like Caius,
They must be like really.
they're like
hidden.
werewolves. No, I think they're dead now. They like killed them.
Oh, okay. So they think that they might be like werewolves, but
So
they're
they're not werewolves. They're not like the children of the wolf. They're like these shapeshifters who just happen to be take the form of
Of a
wolves.
wolf. Okay.
Oh, so that's why the vampires are startled because they're like, I thought we killed all of them.
Yeah,
but
because like
turns
Caius
out-
almost died from a werewolf attack, but then I don't know.
He
They
didn't.
hunted them down.
he
yeah,
just
he
was
did.
fine, I guess.
Yeah, so they're not werewolves technically.
Wow, thank goodness someone in this room has read the books recently because
So we know what's
we couldn't
happening.
even reach these levels of conversation without these things that Kaylee knows. So thank goodness.
It would just
Kudos
be, like,
to you.
Speculation
I have a really serious not conversation.
Is
A
it
very serious question.
about
Rebecca,
Seattle
do
or Alaska.
tell.
No, not about Seattle or Alaska, but I will tell. It has to do with vampires. In this universe, does each vampire have their own special talent, gifting?
No.
You just watched all the movies with us.
Esme doesn't have anything.
Yeah, but I just figured they didn't bring it up. Like, they just didn't talk about what their special gifting was.
What they say is that everybody has the strongest part of their human personality comes with them into the afterlife.
So Edward could just read minds?
He was really perceptive, and then now he can read minds.
Oh, so Carlisle was really kind and a doctor.
Yeah.
So he still is.
Well, he wasn't a doctor, but he was compassionate then, so he brought that with him. And Esme was really loving and motherly, so she brought that with her. But it's not a power.
But okay, so why do some of them have powers and some
I don't
don't?
know.
Some of them are just
some
super
are
strong.
Some of them just have some characteristics.
Why was Bella a shield before she was a vampire?
Some of them did have powers before, Alice.
That would be Jane.
Wait, what was Alice's powers?
She can see the future.
But no, what?
She could do that too. She had psychic abilities before.
Yeah, wasn't she locked up?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was locked in solitary confinement.
Okay, someone remind me on Bella's powers, because the world out there, I was not around to watch the very last movie, which is the second part of the fourth book.
Her brain is like a shield, so that's why Edward can't read her mind.
Well,
she's got her own
shield.
personal
and
force
she can
field.
project it. So during the battle, she is if I focused on you, I would be whoa, and I would send my
stretch to include you.
In The Incredibles, Violet.
So is it a force field or is it a mind field?
It's in her mind, and she book she describes it like a rubber band. So it's wrapped around her head, but she could shape it, so it could be around your brain too.
No, but what I mean is, does it just protect from superpowers, or does it protect from physical harm?
Oh
no,
it's not.
Mind.
It's just mental.
So James can't hurt them because James doesn't do actual pain. It's in the mind.
Right.
But the one vampire, the Shocky girl, Kate.
Well,
it lessened it.
Hers must be
in the brain.
It must be
then.
Mental then too, because vampires can't
actually
be hurt. So that's why you make them think they're feeling pain. You make them think.
Looks like a taser, but.
That's what Jane does. It's not real pain.
Right.
She's just making you.
So
the electricity one must also be
so that means Jane can probably she's probably like Jasper can make you feel feelings. She can probably just make you feel things, but then just focuses on the pain because she's Volturi.
Well, no, I think that's
the only thing
she can just do pain.
Yeah, and I think she just says pain for the drama of it. She's just pain.
I like that. Yeah, when she stares you down with those red eyes.
She points at pain.
That's
pain.
Alice can see Bella's future because she's not trying to shape her mind or affect her mind, get into her mind.
Because it's just on her decisions.
Her body, her body is there.
Okay, a question on Alice. So does she because she doesn't choose when she gets her visions. It's just when someone makes a decision. But she cares about a lot of people. So every time someone's I'm gonna wear green today, she's like.
Bella's wearing your green sweater today. Edward, you should wear something
or
that
she just thinks to Edward. Green.
Or is it just she or is it just the major decision?
I don't know, because she's not like Raven, where she's I'm having a vision. She can.
That's the Raven.
That's
the TV
so
show.
Oh!
I was the Raven?
Vampire
the Edgar Allan Poe book, Raven? What? Raven, gotcha.
But she can see it all the time, and she can just choose kind of what to focus in on. So she can be looking for decisions people are gonna make. She's watching the Volturi.
I always assumed that it was kind of like background noise for the most part, but if she decided to focus on a particular person,
I think that's what it's
a lot.
Well, I assume that Edward can hear people's thoughts all the time.
He does.
He can choose to ignore them.
Yeah.
At this point, which is why he doesn't consciously probably read everybody's minds all the time, but if he all of a sudden
in the restaurant in the first one when he's going through and he's
he's probably not even
money, sex.
He's heard all those things so many times that it's just static at this point. So he's I can just space out.
Yeah, you can just tune in.
It's just white noise.
It's if you were in a room and everyone was talking and it all sounds like background, but then you're what are they talking about?
Yeah.
True.
So, wow, that was fun. Power
Let's
recap.
spiral.
In case you forgot what everybody can do.
I really like the vampire powers. They're really
I
cool.
want to
They're
know
so neat.
why Stephanie Meyer did that in the first place. Like, what? Well,
Yeah, it's weird
I
that
mean,
some of them have powers.
a
but
lot
they
of her
don't.
vampire lore is like
Dumb.
interesting. Okay, well, we went two different ways with that.
Okay.
But I mean, like a lot of it is different. You're like, okay, that's cool. You can have a new take on something, but like
Sure.
that in particular, because like most vampires, like their powers are all the same. Like they can
Yeah.
enchant you, they can turn into a bat.
Yeah.
You kill them
They
by
can run
with
really
a
fast.
stake. They can run really fast. They're really strong. They can't go out in the sunlight. Like they're all pretty standard things for vampires. But she was like, no, they're gonna be glittery as hell.
That's dumb.
They're gonna have maybe a superpower depending on like how strong their personality
Yeah,
is.
Edward's
But if
body-
you're just like a really nice person, or like Bella is just so passive and chill that like she doesn't go nuts when she's a newborn. Like, isn't that one of her powers too, where they're like,
Well,
she just has super self-control?
They speculate about that, but that's not like confirmed. I think.
Well, if Esme has like super mom powers,
Well, you
then
don't get two powers. Bella already has a power. She doesn't get
Oh,
two
you don't get
powers.
two powers? But what if she's just that special?
No, she's
Bella's pretty special.
not.
Kaylee has rolled her eyes like 6 times in the last 30 seconds.
No, I think that the reason she's so chill is because she prepared for it so much, and like she chose it. So she was like, I didn't want to be like that, and like she was prepared for
The
it.
power of a positive mental attitude has gotten Bella through this. Good grief.
I mean, technically, all vampires could choose not to kill people,
You're right.
but like it's really difficult. And I
guess
understand that,
her
but she
entire
was prepared.
transformation is like pretty unique.
She was prepared for it to be difficult, and she was like, "I'm gonna like work extra hard to not like kill someone."
I am not gonna kill anyone, alright guys?
I don't know.
Help me out here. I don't want to murder a human being, especially my dad or my newborn child.
Well, is she really a human being?
Ooh, that's a question.
She's not. She's literally not. though. She's literally
She's
half
half.
vampire.
Well, she's half mortal,
But she still has
half
blood, doesn't she?
immortal.
She has blood, yes, but that doesn't mean she's human. Lots of werewolves have blood.
Were you gonna say like lots of people have blood? As if mythical creatures exist around us? Like, well, lots of mythical creatures have blood, Emily. The Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot for sure has lots of blood.
Yeti.
Remember when we said Nessie and Jade was like, "What's that?" And we were like,
Excuse me? Oh yeah, Jade didn't know what Nessie was.
"Oh."
You named my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? The only time Bella shows like any emotion.
No, she didn't.
Loch Ness Monster.
No, she's like
That's it.
really mad. That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
No, I hate that dumb. Okay. The baby in the movie, bad.
Oh.
She's not supposed to be that old. Like, she looks like she's 12 in the movie. She's supposed to be like a 5-year-old, maybe, in the book.
She ages quickly.
Yeah, but no, she's not 12 yet. She's too old. Third, I was gonna say something else. Oh, her name is dumb. Those are my takes
Yeah.
for the evening.
That was, Kaylee had never seen the Breaking Dawn Part 2, so that was
Yeah, I
like
had
the first time that she laid eyes on that terrible CGI infant. It's just, oh, when they do like, there's like a couple close-ups where it's just the baby, and like
That's
that's fine. It looks like whatever year that movie came out in. It looks like CGI from that time. Cause like, obviously they do the wolves. What's going on?
I just wanted to
There's-
know what year the movie
There was
came
just,
out.
there was just like eye contact between Kaylee and Emily, and I was like, something is happening, and I missed it.
Emily just sort of picked up her phone to look up the
And I was
year
like,
the movie was
okay,
released.
whatever's happening is happening right now. I mean, I'm on a laptop.
2012.
2012. Okay, but like they do the wolves with CGI, and they look fine. But why does this
Okay.
baby look so very bad?
Not fine.
Like,
Why couldn't they just get a baby?
it's so well because they were like
They made it look like Bella and Edward.
it has to look
I
like.
don't care.
I think they took the child actors that they used. They took her and they were like, "What if we aged her backwards with CGI?" I think it's just because they can.
Why don't they just take a baby? And if they need to, CGI the baby's eyes a different color. Instead of creating a baby.
No, they were like, we need to. And also, babies just look like babies.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't show me an infant and go, oh, wow, it's a perfect 50-50 mixture between both parents. Because it's a baby.
Okay, but
I literally can't.
some babies
Very
look
nice
a lot
faces.
like mom or dad.
I could.
They
not.
can.
That's to tell you.
They
that.
can.
I
But usually it's not till like later.
I didn't look
Yeah,
at
they're
that.
not as an but it's an accelerated growth.
But
so
like,
it's
if
possible
you had
that,
shown
like,
me a picture of that
Straight
CGI
out of the
baby without telling me what movie
Accelerated.
it was from, I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, oh, well, that's Bella and Edward's baby. If I was just like, what's this weird 3D baby that you created on a computer? Like, what's
the baby
this
was
for?
disgusting looking. Yeah,
It's disgusting looking.
It is. And then
It's
the
like
fact
really
that
in that
Jacob
uncanny
sees the
valley.
baby and goes, yes,
Oh, Rebecca.
that's the one for me.
Well,
Like,
that's
no.
the worst part of it. That's why I did not
It's
want
like,
to watch this
oh,
movie.
and also that the baby like makes such direct eye contact with him is like really unnerving.
It's like the baby knows.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh, this baby
Does
has
the baby know?
superpowers.
no, it's a
Yeah,
baby.
she can touch
You
you,
know, she
and show you
communicates.
things.
Yeah.
She's like the opposite of
Right.
Edward's powers.
So she can just like share a little
Right.
memory with you without even. Emily
Hey.
just touched my cheek and said, "Hey,"
Not at all creepy.
out
That's
loud.
fine.
I didn't have a memory.
You know
to share,
what's
though.
weird?
Aw.
So Edward can read minds. So Edward could literally read Jacob's mind as he was imprinting
Oh!
on his daughter.
Was
So
he
now-
weird though?
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
upstairs.
Honestly,
yeah.
I think he probably only lets him do it because he was like, they're gonna try to kill my whole
Her.
family.
That's
like,
the only reason
all
I'm
of the
not.
werewolves are gonna kill us if I don't let him do
But then
this.
he was perfectly
Okay,
okay
well,
with
he
Bella killing
can't
him.
really stop him
Well,
from imprinting.
Edward was
I
like,
mean, he could kill him.
We could
Bella's-
kill him, but that's not going to stop him from imprinting. The imprint will happen, then Jacob would be dead. Like,
Yeah, he would be dead.
yeah,
Okay,
so
that would be
wouldn't
great.
affect her at all because, like we've discussed, nothing affects her.
wait,
It's
who's
just-
her?
Right this way, like,
Oh.
it's just Jacob being.
No, yeah, but what I'm
It
saying,
wouldn't affect her. if
what I'm
Jacob
saying is,
died.
she said, why didn't he stop the imprinting? I was like, well, he couldn't have stopped the imprinting. He could have just killed Jacob after the imprinting already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, we've established that 3/4 of the people in this room don't particularly like Jacob very much, but so what's Jacob gonna do then? Just like live with these vampires for the rest of his life? Because
He would hate that.
Wait until she grows up and then go off with her.
what? He can't just like move off because all of these vampires, like, they're all in relationships with each other and they still live together. Like, they're a coven, they live together. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of weird if Jacob was just like, okay, well, your daughter's 18, Mr. Cullen, like, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Should I
he
start calling you
cannot
Dad?
stay. He can't. If they. Okay, I have a lot of problems
Do.
with
tell.
their like relationship. First of all,
Jacob
like
and
when
Edward.
she get no Jacob and Renesmee.
Oh.
Like when she gets older, if they like get together, first of all, that's disgusting. Second of all, if they stay there, first of all, Edward can read minds.
Oh.
If they like are getting it on, Edward can read minds.
Both of their minds.
Hopefully he wouldn't.
Also, they're all vampires with super hearing.
Well, same goes for all of them when they all have sex.
I brought this up several times. They can't just.
Oh yeah, we forgot to say at the beginning of this that this is the NSFW part of the half of
They
the
all
podcast.
just live in this house together, but they're all together. And they don't sleep at night, so what do they do at night? But they all have super vampire hearing. Also, Edward can read minds, and
Also
he's just
Edward.
in this house with them. Also, he.
No, him and
was
Bella
not
have
for it.
their own house now.
Well,
Okay, but
now,
it's only
but
like
before,
10
it's
feet
been
away.
like
I know.
100 years.
Well, okay, they can run really fast though.
Yeah,
Who
they
knows?
probably just
They
go,
might
like,
have-
into the woods.
Yeah, or they might have like little tents set up throughout,
Tents?
or you know,
No,
little
no,
tents,
no.
little cabins, something.
Here's what I was thinking: is they all like they schedule it right, like by
They
day of the
schedule
week.
it.
So they're like,
You
okay.
can only have sex on Tuesdays
So on
and Thursdays.
Tuesdays, it's me and Esme, says Mr. Carlisle Cullen. And he's
Dr.
like,
Cullen.
all the rest of y'all
Mr.
are gonna go hunting on Tuesday, okay, guys?
That's
You're my
fair.
children.
Your mother and I need some alone.
Yeah, your
time.
mother and I, we gotta, we only do it on Tuesday, so you guys can go hunting, and then the rest of the week, they slot in whichever day they'd like.
But what if you just get like real horny on like Wednesday
Can
afternoon?
vampires get horny?
Thank
Yes.
you for asking that question, Becca.
I was gonna bring
Okay,
that
but
up when you were
Becca-
talking about the CGI baby.
Horny is
baby.
mental.
Okay,
So,
but
like,
I I think the real question is, do vampires have libido?
Because that's chemical.
They don't have blood in their veins.
The question is, how can Edward get it up? How can
We
anyone
got there, guys.
get it up?
This is where I wanted to get during the last episode, but we ran out of time. I'm sorry, I had to go get pizza with
You
my
mean
friend.
that we started that whole episode? We went through that whole episode just to get to can Edward get it up?
The
coming.
rest of it was regular, ordinary
I was
Twilight
with them
discussion.
when they brainstormed this list.
That was the whole point of this whole podcast.
No, not
We
the
had
whole
those
point.
other things on our list too.
We genuinely
okay.
wanted to talk about those
Wow.
things too, but these are the hard hitting
We just
questions.
knew where we were
Becca.
going.
Yeah, they're very hard. We have established that.
That is not the joke
But
that I was
how?
looking
But
for.
why? How can they be hard then?
How can they be?
He doesn't have
There's
blood.
no blood. No, he drinks animal blood.
No.
It's
It's
not.
not the
It
same.
doesn't-
It's not the same.
It doesn't run through his
Also,
veins.
do vampires
This is-
pee?
This is what I swear to God that I have read. I read something where Stephanie Meyer, I swear, she said that every fluid in a vampire's body is replaced by venom. So everything, like, we're talking, why can't I not think of any fluid? Like saliva.
Sweat? No, they don't have sweat.
They don't sweat.
Blood.
So like saliva, blood.
Stomach acid.
Well, they don't have anything in their stomachs.
Exactly.
So like the very few fluids that are still left in their bodies are venom now. So that would mean that like instead of blood, there's venom. So that would mean that a penis of a vampire would have venom in it instead of blood.
I mean,
I hate this. I mean, I wanted to talk about it, but
we've
I
established that they can. Because
yeah, they did. They
they
do.
do. Also,
Often.
Emmett and Rosalie have sex a lot. Not like.
But this is another thing that Kaylee and I talked about separately because we're very curious individuals. But so they don't get tired, right? I'm gonna guide you in gently. Come into the deep end with me, friends. They don't get tired. But like an erection, like they go away eventually, you know, like the commercials where they're like, if you have an erection for more than 4 hours, consult a doctor.
Well, what's it called? The scientific term for it. We're like, a guy can't like.
Erectile dysfunction?
No, it's like the period where like refractory period where like you can't just get it up again immediately.
They need a break.
Because yeah, but vampires don't get tired. So does that mean they don't have that? Like they can just keep going constantly?
I think that they could probably have an erection for like as long as they want. But then the other problem is, so then another thing Kaylee and I spoke about is the fact that if the fluid in their body is all venom now, then where did the sperm come from?
Okay, because when they become vampires, everything that was like in their body, they stop. Like they stop. They don't create more of anything. They can't grow their hair. Like there's nothing natural. And so they couldn't create more sperm unless it's just venom.
But yuck. But we were talking about how like Edward and Bella could not have produced a child unless Edward still had some sperm. So we have come up with a theory.
Okay, wait a minute, but didn't you just say every like liquid in their body turns to venom?
I don't know
Well,
the scientifics about how sperm is created.
I think replaced by venom. So that would like whatever's probably left in there is good to go until like you get rid of you get rid of it. And then after that, like anything else that's produced is venom.
Because they can't create.
So when you're turned, the
more.
sperm that you have is your sperm. You still have it, but then whenever it is the next time that you I hate talking about
like
this.
it
would be gone, right? Like you know.
Because it doesn't get taken out of your body when you change.
Yeah, it's not just like
but then you
dissolved.
can't create more of it because their body doesn't have those natural.
It's like
functions
eggs
anymore.
it's like eggs for people that have like ovaries. Like you're born with the number of eggs that you have, and then like once they're gone, they're gone. Like you don't make any more like that, but with sperm. That's like a real world example. Like you only have so many eggs. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Becca and Emily.
Becca and Emily have stopped participating. They hate us. But this is some really interesting stuff here? Like, we're deep into the world building mind.
So,
Stephanie Meyer, what is the deal?
The theory is Edward would have had to have sperm in order to produce this child. But he couldn't have created more sperm, meaning the sperm that he used to create Renesmee was sperm that he had
From when
when
he was human,
changed
which
into
he's
a
like
vampire.
109.
Yeah.
I remember his voice sounds really weird when he goes like, I'm 109. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Bella, I'm 109.
I'm 109.
Yeah, he was changed in 1918, I think. So it's almost this year is his 100th year anniversary of being a vampire.
Oh, happy vampire
Death
birthday.
Death Day.
Rebirth day. That's
Yeah.
good.
So that theory would mean that Edward has not gotten rid of any of his sperm since becoming a vampire.
He was waiting for the one.
Yeah.
And he's
And
very
we were talking
old-fashioned.
about how he's very old-fashioned, so he probably would not have,
That's not how things worked in the early 1900s.
Yeah, he's a proper gentleman.
But
and
most of the
masturbation
time,
is,
time
allowed.
back in the day, like men would say, like, oh, like I'm a really good guy, and then they'd go and like kill a lady like Rosalie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super nice and gentlemanly. Oh,
That was
whoops, I killed you.
before. That was
Edward's
after
actually a proper gentleman.
Does that make it any better?
No.
If it was after?
No. But I'm just getting
So
the
that
timeline
means that
straight.
Edward is like he is like hardcore. He waited so hard that stop. I can't help that I use these words. Emily, can you describe it any better than I can?
No, I
She
cannot.
can't,
No.
because she doesn't want to. That's right.
Mm-mm.
Kaylee and I are the only two people brave enough to bring up these things. So I guess you're welcome.
Vampire sperm, the real issues that need to be discussed in this world, specifically in this apartment.
These are the real questions, okay? And now I bet after you've heard us talk about this, you're gonna have some uncomfortable Twilight questions too, and that's okay. We might not have all the answers, but I bet you can come up with a theory. I just want to know, like, did Stephanie Meyer think about any of these things? Because she probably would have had to. Like, if she thought about
Someone's had to have asked her.
like how vampire anatomy works and how they're changed, she would have had to think about, like, well, if they're gonna have a child and Edward is 109, like, then where'd that sperm come from, though?
Yeah, and if it was, like, venom, then why would it contain...
Genetic material.
Yeah. How could he... Because he couldn't
He can't.
produce
His-
genetic material.
His cells can't divide.
No.
He's a vampire. There's no life happening in there at all. So he literally can't even, like, if a skin cell accidentally
Okay.
gets,
Like, he
chipped
couldn't
off or
Okay.
produce... He couldn't produce, like...
Okay,
I don't know what it's
I have
called.
argument.
Okay, Becker, go.
So
Try
say
me.
The court will now hear...
Say that he still has this 109-year-old sperm sitting in his doodads.
His balls.
Whatever. He is now a vampire.
Okay.
His body temperature has dropped. It's not
Yeah, but it's
livable.
vampire sperm now, Becca.
No.
It's still
no.
in his body.
Yes, but his body wouldn't be capable of keeping the sperm alive. That's what I'm trying to say.
But if, like...
Is the inside of his body also cold?
He's dead.
They're made of marble.
But I'm dead.
So yes.
No, but here's my thing, is that, like, the cells in your body are, like, converted to, like, vampire type cells. So that would mean that, like, the vampire, like, his sperm got turned into a vampire. This is the worst way to
I don't know,
describe it.
Becca. It doesn't make sense. But
'Cause, like-
it doesn't make sense at all. So we're trying to
Because they
explain
produced
it.
a half vampire, half human child, meaning
Yeah.
that Edward's sperm carried
Does
vampire
contain-
genetic material, meaning that, like, his sperm that he had in his body got, like, turned at the same time that he did. So, like, he still had sperm from when he was a human carrying his genetic material, but it's, like, vampire now.
If that's true, so we talked about if a woman if somebody with a womb was carrying a child when they were turned into a vampire, what would happen? And my theory was that the child would like not be there anymore, because when there's something like wrong with their body, like if they broke an arm or a leg or whatever, then everything in their body gets fixed to like go back to their base state to become a vampire. So like if someone was pregnant, their body would go back to like their base state of
Which
not
is
being
not
pregnant to be turned into a vampire. But if every cell in your body turns into a vampire, then would the child turn into a vampire?
Would you just be constantly pregnant? Is that what you're asking?
Because then the like fetus couldn't grow.
Well, I figure, like, if it's okay, if it's like your thing where you said about the base state, like the base state would be not pregnant, because we're all not pregnant.
We are all not pregnant.
You're all not pregnant until you are pregnant. There we go. But also, like, immortal children exist. So if the child, like, if the baby, like, in utero was old enough to, like, be
if you
turned
were
into a vampire,
about to give birth,
like, if the baby was, like, old enough that it could be, like, like, if it could be a premature baby, like, then I think that you probably just have, like, an immortal, like, really, really young infant. But if it was, like, I don't know, you're, like...
Yeah, I think if it was, like, you were a month pregnant, then it would be, like...
You're, like, 2 weeks pregnant and you just, like, didn't even know it.
No, like, this isn't happening
then you're turning
anymore,
into a
because this
vampire.
isn't how your body is supposed to be. Like, this
Like,
is your
if you
base
have
state.
a cold when you're turned into a vampire, you don't have a cold forever.
Yeah, like, Esme broke her back and, like, all of the limbs in her body. And so it, like, fixes everything. So I think that's what would happen with, like, a pregnancy. That's my theory.
I like the base state description. It's like a really good way of describing it for me anyway. Because it's like, well, your base state is like the age that you are, but like entirely healthy and intact. So like if you had a sprained ankle and you were turned into a vampire, like it'd be fine. If you had a bruise, like you wouldn't have it anymore. You wouldn't just like constantly have a bruise because it's like frozen in place.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down like a big dangerous hole if you start talking about like fixing things.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to go there.
No, I just don't know how the venom works.
Me neither. I like the idea of it like, it pulls out a magnifying glass and it like looks really close at the broken arm. Was this arm always broken or should I fix it? I don't really know anymore. I can't decide. I'm just Venom. Oh,
I can't anymore.
Lord.
It's very late. It's 11:30 p.m.
That's so late for us. And also, you and Becca had a lot going on today.
Yes.
So, yeah. I don't know what to talk about anymore. We kind of like really got into it.
Well, we talked about
We got into it and we got right back out of it as quickly as we went in.
I don't know. We had a long conversation in the last one, too.
I hope everyone's really satisfied with what we've given them here. Now, your homework assignment is to go talk to your friends. I mean, maybe not your family. I guess if you want to. I feel like this would be better suited for your friends if you're comfortable with that kind of thing. Bring up these questions with them. Ask them, like, hey, I have a really important question for you. I was listening to this podcast, and they brought up these really gross things about vampires, and I'd like to ask you what your opinions are on them. Or, you could do the boring questions from the last one about, like, what's your favorite character? Do you, I don't know. I don't remember what we talked about.
What's the most problematic thing about Jacob or Edward?
What's the most problematic thing about Jacob or Edward? Like, take your pick. Let's analyze it for a couple minutes as friends. And, just, like, sit down and have a conversation. It's fun. It's obviously, we can talk about it for hours because we have today a lot.
Yes. While I was reading the books, I would just randomly text Kristen at various intervals with some different theories.
And they were really good. And I would go, oh my god. Also, there's just a lot of good Twilight memes out there.
Yeah. While you were gone, I was on Tumblr and I saw
thought you took a nap.
a lot of Twilight content.
They know that's what you're looking for now. They're like, hey, we noticed that you were interested in this. Did you want to see those?
I sent you a few.
We never even talked about, like, scenes that we like.
I think we talked about several different scenes in Twilight, so we don't necessarily
I'm
need
pretty
to
exhausted by that
rehash some
conversation
more.
that we had earlier. Like, that took a lot out of me. That's a lot of things that I don't like to discuss ever, so. I can't believe we did. But, I mean, I hope everyone enjoys.
And now we're going to release it on the internet for everybody to enjoy.
Don't worry, the description of this podcast will hopefully warn you that this is the content.
Once we figure out how to add a description to it.
Well, I mean, this is going to be like the 5th one, so
Yeah.
hopefully, or maybe not. Well,
This
we're
will
gonna
be
have
6 because it'll be after.
we're gonna have probably a Halloween one.
Well, it will already happen by the time you're hearing this, so.
Well, then you'll know the order in which we record these because there's no editing. It's very authentic.
Behind the scenes.
The authenticity of this podcast is off the charts. Nobody's saying anything else.
Okay,
I think we should just be done.
this is
Wait,
quite
wait.
enough for this evening.
Wait, but what's the P stand for?
I think I could come up with what the P stands for.
What does the P stand for? I'm
Do
scared.
you want me to have to say?
Do you really have to think?
Do you want me to have to say it
Oh,
out loud
no.
to the internet?
No. Wait. I think I
Me
know.
too, backtrack.
I think
Think
I,
about what we just talked about.
I think I know where you're going, and I'd like to just leave it there. I'd like to just drop it.
All right, you all know what the P stands for this time.
Oh, yuck.
Okay, I gotta go.
I guess that's what the P stands for, and I hate it. So I think we're done here. I don't know, like have a good night or something.
Try to enjoy yourselves.
Okay. Goodbye.